What's happening, fandoms? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we react to music videos and shows. Today we're going back to The Expanse. This is Season 2, Episode 8, entitled Pyre. In the last episode, we had a bunch of exciting stuff, mostly character development stuff happen. But we did learn that Sergeant Gunny Draper survived the events of Ganymede and had some maybe cognitive dissonance going on with what she saw because it was outside of the realm of her reality, and it took some pretty strong measures to get her to recognize and be able to state what was really happening. Then we learned that Mars is sending her to Earth to testify at the peace talks, and they don't want her talking about what she actually saw. So that's an interesting development. Very excited to see the events that occur, starting with Bobby heading to Earth. That's a lot of fun. In my read along, I am still the same spot. I finished book 3 and I've halted. I'm waiting to catch up just a little bit because I don't want the events of book 4 to be dulled in my memory by the time I get to the events in the show that relate to those. I did read ahead a little bit with book 3 because some of my Patreon commenters were telling me that there are a bunch of things that sort of happen in a mixed order in the show. Everybody's doing a really good job of not spoiling the actual book differences, but I'm enjoying discovering them as they occur. And I'm really excited to see this one. So let's just dive in. I can't wait to see what Pyre refers to. Let's go. Shout out to my Patreon nerd book readers. Very happy that I'm having a fun discussion with you guys about what the differences are and how much I'm missing a lot of them. Good job, guys. Oh, okay, this is gonna be the botanist dude. Okay. I recognize this actor. Ooh, okay, reliving events of the space battle and stuff. I expected that to be a canteen, but it had light in it. Yeah, he's in like a refugee shelter. Rough times on Ganymede right now.
Dr. Meng? Prax?
Prax, yep. That's the one.
It's so nice to see you back on your feet. It's okay here. Just sip it.
The Ganymede station or base or whatever it is going through essentially environmental collapse because of all the damage.
Refugee ship.
No.
Yeah, he's really badly hurt, stapled up and losing his mind. Here's the Rocinante.
Doll's gonna be fist for the bow.
Diogo.
Put him in the hole.
Diogo's on the wrong side of our history here.
A 4-man skiff registered to the Harbour Master's office on Ceres pushed off from the opposite side of the ring. Dawes' ship was a diversion.
He was never even on the ship. Okay.
Why wasn't the skiff locked down?
Clamps were released manually at the berth.
So Dawes obviously had inside help.
I'm wondering about her loyalties.
Afraid, Johnson. We have traveled far together, my Baratna. But this is where we must part ways. And took it back to Tycho with you, keeping those secrets for yourself.
Boy.
No doubt believing that when the time comes, as it surely must, you, and you alone, would decide when to use the weapon to defend the belt. This is the Urta in you still.
This is a storyline that I do not remember.
Under anyone's boot, Faye Johnson. A Seelick taught you, even a friendly one, afraid that if we disobey, we will have our air cut off, our water ration, be spaced. Stolen your secret, Faye Johnson, and I am giving it to the belt.
Boy. That stupid scientist is a lot of trouble.
Farm barge.
Forgive me for saying so, but I don't think you're cut out for that kind of work.
It's okay.
They're gonna have to rebuild Ganymede. It's a massive
We'll
part
come back
of
to
the
Mars.
infrastructure of the
It
solar
lost a
system.
family there. The terraforming project could always use more agri-techs.
Is that supposed to be his wife? In the
We
books,
have backups for everything Cortez always working
Max and
on.
his wife
The
were
data cores will erase
estranged.
themselves if they're tampered with. We know a lot more than Dawes.
And how long is that gonna last? The proto-molecule was talking to him.
I can help you with that.
I'll grab my gear.
Okay, drummer. Not 100% sure. Oh, who's looking at this? Oh, it's Naomi. Okay.
Got to go. I've got work to do.
Why would there being more of it make her feel differently about what was in that missile? I thought it was the only sample, but now it's not.
No.
I think Amos is going through something here.
Take your load for Earth, for Mars. They take you, okay? All Enos, you all go for Earth, for Mars. You come, Sasake?
Does this feel weird? I can't quite tell.
You. No.
I'm going to Mars.
In the dust about.
Happy moment makes me wonder what's about to happen. Come on. He's just spacing them. Yep, that's what I thought. Yep, he just shoved him out. Yeah, I knew something weird was coming. What an asshole. I knew something whack was about to happen. They don't have to actually
You don't seem eager
spacewalk
for the
for it.
answer.
Does it make you happy to know there's more of that stuff out there?
If it is, it is. It's better to know.
You know him.
I used to work for him.
There we
So
go.
how'd you end up here?
I was with Dawes when he found Fred in a bar on Ceres. But Dawes spoke to him, showed him a different path.
So Dawes
Must be quite a
recruited
conversation.
Johnson.
It was more than talk.
You got something?
The shout came from Ganymede. There's protomolecule on Ganymede Station.
Yeah, there is.
There's no mistaking the data.
Naomi.
Okay.
Jim,
I like this idea
Jim.
of shouts and signals.
I know you feel like we failed.
As long as we're living and breathing, there's more we can do. We just have to be strong enough.
There you go. Got ourselves a little bit of a mole here. Doing a great job of showing how confusing this all is.
I need help. Excuse me? I need help.
Or Prax. He's gonna have a role here.
Okay, now just one's advanced degrees in genetics,
This is how
biology,
they're gonna find
and
Prax.
informatics.
Okay.
Dr. Lawrence Strickland, degrees in all three.
There he is. They found
Including the
him.
lot from the last barge, we now have nearly 3,500.
Okay. What are you doing, dude?
That will not go over well.
It's the safest way.
Oh boy. We got ourselves a traitor. This asshole. Working for the wrong side.
What do you want?
You want a missile, boss man?
Oh man. Hostile takeover of Tycho. Didn't see that coming. I'm not aware that Tycho was taken over by other factions of the OPA. Yep, they are painting this as a bleak situation. Of course it is. It's a plant.
It's just a soybean. I'm a botanist.
Oh no.
I work for Fred.
Maybe not for long, though.
How are we gonna solve this situation? Because nobody else really even knows it's happening.
God damn you. You gonna throw that in my face? Jesus! Ramus!
Ooh. Okay. Snap out of it a little bit.
I don't want to fight you, Alex. Please don't make me. Because if we do, who's gonna fly the ship?
Something broke in him with that little kid, little refugee kid.
Do you hear that beeping too?
Yeah. Hey, someone's trying to access the missile controls. Holy shit. Looks like they're preparing to launch.
Okay, so now they know.
Project.
Very good.
Dr. Strickland was involved in. The connection is the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate clinics are legally required to let parents remotely monitor their children from anywhere, right?
You have children of your own?
No.
We got a serious goddamn problem here.
Yep. So here we go. Holden to the rescue.
Hack the launch codes, King.
I can try.
Those missiles won't do you any good.
We're going to do same as you. Give them right back for Earth.
Okay. Amos, where are you going? Oh, what a weird perspective. Freaky.
Almost there.
He has to get those mag boots on because the station is spinning. It would just throw him off. Something that's gonna solve the problem, no doubt.
Nitrogen levels are going through the roof. Kill the oxygen now.
This'll knock everybody on the bridge out. Yep, that's the plan. Too much nitrogen, not enough oxygen, they'll all just go unconscious. Good job, guys. Just knock them all out, go in and clean up the mess after. Pretty good.
Step at a time.
Good job, drummer. Yep, execution.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe this will cut through whatever Amos is fogging on. He seems to have a thing for protecting children.
Something. Fred told you there was more proton molecule out there.
Tycho TC refuses to release the clamps until Fred Johnson gives his personal authorization.
And he's not. All right, I'm on it.
You'd think you would trust him after he literally just saved their entire ass. Saved his whole ass.
You said it yourself, the game has changed. Whether any of us like it or not.
She keeps checking on that torpedo.
You're just not a part of it anymore.
Huh. Yeah. Fred couldn't even maintain control of his own station without James. Yep. Very interesting. Little bit of tension between Fred and James. This whole storyline of the scientist is from much later in the books, I think. Don't recall anything, at least through book 3, where Anderson Dawes and Fred Johnson had a dust up. Certainly don't remember, I mean, except for a very small thing when they take the scientists from the station, the research station. We don't go back to this scientist at all until much later, sometime book 4 or later. So this is a piece of storyline, these OPA infighting and stuff that certainly doesn't occur at this piece of the book story. And Diogo being a part of it, of course, is brilliant, because Diogo is sort of a everyman stand-in for the mentality of belters. At least that's the way I'm looking at him. That they can sign up for the OPA, they can get twisted, they can have their minds changed, and sometimes they fight against their own interests. I certainly view that as Anderson Dawes. He doesn't know what he's done with this scientist. He doesn't understand the nature of the weapon that he thinks is happening. He doesn't know what's happening with that. Perhaps if he did, he wouldn't have tried to take that scientist and gain control of it again, because there's no controlling, realistically, long term, there's no controlling the protomolecule. We definitely in the books they didn't refer to this signaling as a shout. At this point in the book, there was let's just say they were observing various things and noting that multiple things were signaling at the exact same moment, and these things that they were monitoring in the books are not active right at the moment in this story. And so I can't talk about it here. But they were observing that 2 or 3 different locations were pulsing with this protomolecule energy simultaneously, which is what that led them back to Ganymede. And in the books, Mang, the biologist, didn't get shipped off to Tycho on a refugee ship like this. He was there searching for his daughter, endlessly trying to find her, surviving as that station, or base, I guess it is, because it's on a moon, Ganymede being a moon, searching all different sections, different hospitals. Like, he spent weeks and weeks and weeks barely surviving, and then Holden showed up there as part of a relief effort from the OPA officially, and got connected with Mang somehow there on Ganymede. This is a different way of going about it. They've discovered through research, they discovered the doctor and then connected Prax to the doctor. So it's definitely a different approach for how the connection is made. This makes just as much sense, maybe a little bit more, because it was a tiny bit coincidental that they just sort of bumped into each other on Ganymede, and then eventually went on to do other things. So I like this way of it happening. It was horribly sad that the crew of that refugee ship took it on themselves to just space a bunch of interplanet citizens. And that's obviously also a new piece of the story. It's possible that we may have seen an incidental news report or something like that in the books talking about refugees getting spaced, but definitely it was not something that we witnessed firsthand like we did, and it was horribly sad. And in a war-torn, terrible situation like this, unfortunately, I was just expecting it. I wasn't expecting it because I knew it would happen. I was expecting it because it's just dark enough that they were probably going to do it. And man, it was definitely not fun to see all of that. Don't appreciate the just random death and killing like that. It's hard, very, very hard to watch. I do think it's great that we've got Prax on the ship now. He is going to spend quite a bit of little time with our crew here, if things go as they went in the books, and I'm excited to see how that all goes. I don't truly understand who the woman he was talking with was. Seemed to have some sort of a connection, and the fact that she is now dead leads me to believe that she was perhaps a girlfriend or potential girlfriend or something like that they had just met on Ganymede or something, because I don't think it was intended to be his ex-wife, because there's definitely other things that are yet to happen, unless they've changed the story. I mean, it's possible that we may never hear about Prax Mang's ex-wife again. They certainly could have written that piece of the story out, and it wouldn't bother me if they did, actually. So we'll have to see. This sort of showdown at the very end between Fred and Holden, where he's not allowing them to leave unless Holden kind of swears fealty basically to the OPA. Like, if you're gonna go there, you better come back and give us what you find. And Holden doesn't agree to that. So that's a little interesting, a little different than how things went down in the books, and it'll be interesting to see just where we end up going from here, based on those changes. Definitely was very hardcore and brutal for Drummer to just straight execute those traitors. Takes Alex's handgun and just plugs him in the forehead. A little cold, but you know what? They shot her, and they are mutineers, and you know, you can't trust those people ever again. If they did it once, they'll do it again. So yeah, she's in charge of security, and that guy definitely betrayed her trust and the trust of Fred Johnson. And I guess I am no longer, for a little while there, I was wondering if she was maybe playing both sides and working for Anderson Dawes, but it seems like the mole was that other guy that then allowed a mutiny to come aboard the bridge of Tycho Station and try and take over. Whew, pretty crazy stuff, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. This was another good character development, episode. Not a huge amount of action, although we did have, you know, Amos doing his spacewalk to you know, cut oxygen to the bridge. Brilliant tactic. Definitely reminds me of something that happens during book 3. Well, something that they tried to do in book 3 that didn't work. So it's interesting to see that tactic applied successfully. Very interesting to see the personal conflict between Amos and Alex. It looks like Amos doesn't respect Alex because of the fact that he has a family that he is missing from. And Amos seems to be very, very triggered about anything that involves a child, parents and children. He seems to be triggered with the mistreatment of children, very likely due to his own upbringing, of course, but we'll obviously see more of that later. And perhaps we'll see some more of that come out as the May and Prax Mang storylines progress. That'll be a good trigger for Amos to work things through, perhaps. All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for all your support, all the likes and comments. They help a great deal with the algorithm and help get my visibility up for this show. This has been a fantastic experience for me. I am 100% loving all of the episodes that I've watched. This is an incredible show, and I am so glad that I decided to do it. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.